There's a new partnership that aims to enhance cancer care services and support for patients and their families in the Niagara region. Joining me in the studio from Wellspring Niagara is Program Manager Dr. Deanna White and Peer Support Volunteer Steve Sino. Wellspring Niagara is removing barriers to access supportive services along with Niagara Health. Dr. White, tell me about this new partnership.
Yeah, we are so excited about this new partnership with Walker Family Cancer Center. So what the purpose of the partnership is to provide high quality patient support for persons impacted by cancer in the Niagara region. So that would be patients and persons supporting those patients. So with this new initiative, we're actually mitigating some barriers and some gaps to supportive services. And so what that means is that we're trying to stop the narrative. I wish I would have known about you sooner, to now I do know about Wellspring Niagara, and if and when I'm ready to access our programs and services, we are there for them. So it's very pivotal moment in our community, and so impactful for persons in the Niagara region.
Yeah. And so how do you think that this will change the overall patient experience?
Yeah, I think in terms of support, I think that by having more people aware of Wellspring Niagara in our programs and services, I think that they can live better with cancer, whatever that looks like to the individual. So Wellspring Niagara, we offer lots of different programs in many areas, including like exercise, like movement programs, therapeutic arts, symptom management. We also have a plethora of individual and group support programs. So that's, we have a whole myriad of programs and services. So, so if they were to access our programs and services, then we'd like to, they can maybe live better with cancer.
A holistic approach to patient care, right?
Yeah.
And Steve, you are a volunteer who was there in the hospital. Tell me about, what that is like, and how do folks get connected with you when they're there as a patient?
Well, part of what the Walker Cancer Center is trying to do, again, is look at this holistic vision of supporting patients, just not the medical aspect. So, I mean, they recognize the limitations of that, and so we're trying to look at extending that control. So, after a fairly extensive process of establishing the partnership, we have a presence in the waiting room areas, or we have a presence in the chemo suites, and we basically engage in a conversation with people that are there in a very respectful way in terms of that, because again, some people are really having a hard time. It might be their first chemo treatment, faced with all kinds of very challenging implications of what they're going to be dealing with. And so we're there to, gently have a conversation to make them aware of the services that we provide. Again, everything we do is free, so it's really an extension of their support that they're getting at the Walker Cancer Center. We're just trying to extend that support if they need it or if they want it to the range of excellent programs that we have. So,
and Steve, you mentioned that you became involved with Wellspring Niagara at the start of your own cancer journey, and so you can have some understanding of what folks are feeling and what they're going through there. How important were the programs and services at Wellspring Niagara for you in your own journey?
They're really important. I mean, it was a bit of a shock. It's when you find out you're cancer and then you're really active your whole life, and all of a sudden it's like life isn't going to be what you thought it was going to be. And again, mine's a very unique cancer. I work with Princess Margaret because of the uniqueness of it. But I did engage with just exploring Wellsprings when it was down in St. Catharines, and I remember Ann Mantini, who is a director, she took 45 minutes to talk to me the first time I just dropped in, just off the street kind of thing, and then just got me involved with the men's group at that point in time. And again, that's been a very great experience in terms of that. So it's been about 7 years that I've been involved with that, and And then from that, I ended up working as a peer support person. Again, part of the peer support reality is that we are cancer either caregivers or survivors.
Right.
And so, when people are coming in to speak to us, we have that perspective in terms of the journey.
Right.
So I found that really rewarding in regards to that. And also, especially when you're doing peer support in a kind of a private room,
Right.
it's interesting how people will end up, sharing some of their journey. And again, we have professional counseling services that we also have available. So again, when I sense that somebody really needs that other level of support, then we have that kind of additional resources that are there. So the peer support has really been a critical part, and this is just an extension of that.
Right. Yeah. This is the initial connection, right?
We have,
And so, Dr. White, what can folks expect when they first become connected with Wellspring?
Yes. So what they can expect is, when they enter our doors, it's just a very warm, welcoming environment. You'll expect a friendly smile from our front desk volunteer. You might get a cup of coffee, some tea, and then just to sit in our reception area. And then we'll talk to you about our programs and services and what would be helpful for you. We'll also give you a tour of our center so that you know a little bit more about what we're about and how we can provide that support throughout your journey. Okay. So that's what you can expect. And like Steve said, our services are free. There's no charge. Also, there's no referral. You just simply call the center, and then the volunteer will ask you some questions and register you as a member, and then we can book a tour, and then you can meet with one of our peers and just come to our center.
Excellent.
And we're there for you.
Thank you both so very much for being with us today. You'd hope you never want these services, but boy, is it ever important to know that they're there. And so folks, if they want more information, can go to wellspringniagara.ca.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you.